Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've had a couple of patch updates with the 3.11.0 PTU with a K and L patch. You may be asking, hang on, this is the sort of first patches we've had after 3.11.0 Wave 1. And that's true, but the reason they're now up to the L patch already is because of Evocati patches before that. They've used some of those previous letters that you might not have known about. I would expect the patch to go to wider PTU and then open PTU next week, leading up to a live release, probably October 10th. But let's take a look at the patch notes and the state of the PTU. 3.11.0K feature updates to start with. They've added scroll bar to the prison commissary machines. Sentry turrets at rest stops and space stations now have proximity guidelines, so you can't move them away from the station, they will explode. You can't put them somewhere else, like around Grimhex, for example. There was an SFX pass on the incoming missile UI warnings. Lots of bugs fixed here as well. When building heat at low orbit stations, security patrols should now correctly show up and engage players, heat being the new law system by which security forces jump in and engage you based on your criminal rating and the sort of criminal rating combined of the area. They fixed an issue causing players' loadouts to not change if they exit or disconnect during the loading screen for prisons. They fixed large stationary arrows appearing in front of your ship when targeting an enemy ship. They fixed size 10 turrets at rest stops not pitching and firing at their intended angle properly. They fixed aim assist not functioning when targeting station turrets. Turret ramming should now correctly give a crime stat. Thrown flares, I can't say that, that's a tongue twister. Teleporting back to players' hands, that shouldn't happen anymore, as same with boxes as well. They fixed a brightness issue with the dark side of Microtech's moons. Cameras should no longer follow mouse inputs when using the external inventory. Priming animations on grenades shouldn't appear multiple times if you rapidly press the button on your mouse. They fixed weapon looping fire effects as well. It's basically causing volume issues if you double triggered them and things like that. 3.11.0L had some feature updates as well. Criminals will now respawn at Grimhex if they die without being arrested or if they log out using a ship bed. So that's great. That means you're not going to be going to prison in every situation when you log out if you're a criminal, sort of thing, in certain areas or whatever. So it makes a lot more sense. It needs to be risk and reward for being a criminal, not always risk and no reward. And you want to be able to get away. Armor mitigation of force reactions should as well now extend to attached items that you're holding or using, so your weapons, magazines, all that sort of stuff. So I think this basically refers to if you're holding your gun or whatever, and that gets hit by a shotgun blast specifically, or one of your other items gets hit, it now gets the sort of, if you're wearing heavy armor, it will treat that as heavy armor as well. If you shot someone's gun before, they might go flying, but now if they're wearing heavy armor and they're going to get shot, they're going to get maybe slightly stunned or whatever, or slightly moved rather than thrown across the room. Level 5 crime stat missions are now restricted to 1 per server, which makes sense because otherwise the servers could be packed. If a group of players assaults a station, you could have loads and loads and loads and loads of level 5 crime stat players. They've increased the decoy counter measure count on the Xi'an Scout to bring it on par with other ships. They've updated explosion VFX for station defense turrets. The Stanton system is now selected by default when you visit the location menu after a player's second login. So that's interesting because some people are suggesting that means that Pyro's actually potentially going to be in 3.12 by the end of the year. But again, let's hope it is. A load of bug fixes here too. HUD elements for enemy ships should no longer be massively offset at ultra-wide resolutions. Players should no longer be timed out using a kiosk or ASOP terminal after 1 minute if they're actively engaged with that. Warning, major unexpected torque imbalance should no longer persist on the ship's HUDs. The ore deposit kiosks in the prison work mines should now display the correct amount and value of ore units present inside a user's backpack inventory. Grimhex's jurisdiction should no longer respect the UEE's laws, which is good. Wanted level 5 UE Navy kills should now correctly count towards the mission tally. Players will be able to now roll the Prowler after retracting its landing gear properly. The lower part of the Constellation HUD, which was showing missile and countermeasure info, should no longer be cut off. Thruster effects should no longer be visible in the cargo bay of the Misk Starfarer when hovering. The cartography hologram should no longer be seen through the walls of the carrack or on top of characters. They fixed an issue causing close-range FOIP, face-over IP animations, to stop working the moment two players try calling each other and accept the call. So VoIP may be working when 3.11 live a lot more reliably. They fixed place mode, placing objects in the wrong location away from where the player had selected. The Ursa rover should no longer be missing its target status on the vehicle remote turret HUDs or MFD screens. The shopkeepers in Port Olisar should no longer be spawned incorrectly, and they fixed oversized particle effects. Between the two patches, they also fixed 5 client crashes, 3 server crashes, and 2 server deadlocks. The updated terrain and environments mean that places like Stego Canyon, basically bugs like Stego Canyon, which is like an oddly procedurally generated piece of terrain that was bugging out, which looked a bit like a Stegosaurus. It means that they're gone now, basically, in 3.11. But I am looking for new interesting terrain features. You get this every time they redrop the terrain or update their tools and like procedural generation stuff. Basically, I'm looking for the wonders of 3.11 in the world. So if you see wonders of the world, poke me if you're like, oh, that looks weird, that looks strange, that's an impressive canyon, or that's a weird, buggy, janky, like, crevasse. I want to see how Cloud Imperium are actually going to address combat logging in the future as well. I think that might be a big issue in 3.11, 3.12. So it's not in the spirit of the game, but it is an alpha, I suppose. So identifying that that's an issue and making sure that they fix it in the future is more important. There are very much random death zones on foot as well when you're in landing zones. So running around Microtech, for example, can sometimes be hell, and other times it's fine, but relatively impressively, there's only 11 major issues listed now in this last L patch, down from 22 previously. Now there's certainly issues that are not listed there that they need to solve, and there's lots of little bugs like those death areas, for example, but it's really a testament to Cloud Imperium focusing on getting those bugs hammered out for wider testing ASAP. But what do you think? Have you been playing Alpha 3.11? Are you waiting for it to go to wider PTU? What do you think we'll see for October 10th? Like me, do you think there's going to be a live build then? Are you waiting for the live build? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For October 2020, it is for a Mercury Star Runner. This highly anticipated multi-role ship is going to be great for small to medium-sized crews that want to do a bit of everything, whether that be cargo running, data running, missions, combat, smuggling, all that sort of jazz. And it's going to be in-game and flyable very soon. All you've got to do to be in for a chance of winning one is comment on any of my videos made during October, including this one. More details down below. What am I shilling for today, I hear you ask? Do you hate it when people steal all of your money and your house over the internet? I know I do. NordVPN may have been invented by wizards to help protect your personal data from the prying eyes of the dark web, a sinister cabal of technomancers that grow in power the more they know about your browsing habits. The true story of NordVPN's origins are unknown and lost to the ages, and without using facts, no one really knows how it provides more accessibility to otherwise censored websites or a safer security experience for all that use it. All I know is that it does, and that when you sign up to it, the power level of my bank account grows, and I use it, and maybe you should too.